Ma'am, we have thousands of people on the internet watching you right now from this phone.
Oh, really? Hello,
See?
internet people.
They are interacting as we speak here
oh,
on the
that's
screen.
brilliant.
Yeah, this is
I love
actually
that. You see,
like.
this is where things could really happen. You know,
Why do you
when
think?
people, well, you know, if you can inspire people, vastly across the world to really sort of speak to one another, I think that's useful. But you can't place your faith in any one thing, except people. You know, it's only people who change the world. Make no mistake about it. It's not government. It's large groups of people getting together and saying this needs to happen now.
How can they help you, Emma, in your mission you've started?
Well, my mission, this particular mission about sex trafficking, many people can help. They can talk about it, and in particular in places where there isn't a great deal of information about it, because most traffickers will prey on young women who are extremely naive, who are in difficult economic situations. You know, they are very sophisticated, and we need a lot more information out there so that women know what they're getting into when they are told by a brother or an uncle or a friend that there might be a nice job picking tulips in Holland or working as a doctor's receptionist in London, that they are not ever to hand over their papers. You know, people give over their passports, and as soon as you have no identity, you are illegal. You are illegal. You do not exist, according to the authorities. And that's a very, very clever way of immediately removing somebody from any kind of safety net. They're already, you know, very vulnerable individuals. So wherever you see that happening all over the world, there's a lot that you can do about it. If you work in a chemist where, you know, a woman who doesn't speak your language comes in every day and buys condoms, you know, why don't you say to her, is it okay? Are you okay? We kind of got to do this on a personal basis as well as a legislative basis, because governments can't tackle this alone, because it's a criminal organisation and business has to get involved, because this is the shadow economy. You know, if this is supposed to be the kosher economy, the kosher economy has to address the shadow economy, because money does not have morals. It will move across borders in whatever way it pleases, and business can help to control that.
But how do you see the markets having in recession for the last few days, the big crash? How do you see it? Do you think the world is getting better? Do you think you were commenting on capitalism and you are in the place where people could change that, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's just temporary?
Nobody's going to change that here. Don't be daft. This is their.
Do you have stock, Emma?
You're talking
yourself?
about.
Have you bought stock?
I don't have any money. I've got a house. I'm not a.
So you're not worried about the market.
I think I'm not worried about the market at all. I think the market is interesting though, because money's like weather. Normal people, as it were, like me, who have a bank account and a certain amount of money that they can spend or save for a rainy day, we don't have any idea how money actually works, how the understanding of money that is going on here. This is a different matter. This is money that works in an entirely different way. It's weather. It's like the weather. It has its own sort of existence. It moves in very peculiar ways. You know, if it was simple, they wouldn't be so busy, and they certainly wouldn't be so powerful, and they wouldn't be so clever. It's a very complicated business. And, you know, the trouble with money is, in large quantities, it transmutes into power, which is a problem. Because it means that people who have a great deal of money, generally speaking, are above the law. They're above the normal constraints that guide, you know, our lives. And I think that's a big problem. I think it's a big problem that people who are tremendously rich don't actually pay tax. I think that's another problem, because in fact what really runs our world is the tax paid by people who aren't very rich. So you were asking me about money. I think it's a very difficult
because
subject.
It's just the news these days, right?
It is the news these days.
Everybody's talking about this here, the market's being down.
Well, everyone here is, because it has an effect on them. The effect it has on people in the world in general varies. I mean, in Latin America, for instance, you know, people, generally speaking, even poor people, are connected in some way to the market. So if there's a huge crash, they will be affected. The poor in rural Argentina will be affected by by the crash of, money markets in Argentina. However, the poor in sub-Saharan Africa will not be affected because they're not connected in any way to this place.
Right.
There is no connection at all.
Thank you very much, Emma.
Oh, you're welcome. Good luck,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
We can do this. It's not going to happen.